Judas Priest has officially started the Shield of Pain tour. The hybrid tour focusing on the 2024 Invincible Shield album, along with the legendary 1990 Painkiller. We're going to break it down, but I'm going to say right now, Judas Priest knocked it out of the park. So, no dilly-dallying, let's get right into it. On June 14th, Judas Priest started the Shield of Pain tour in Finland. There was a lot of speculation towards what Judas Priest is going to play. A lot of people thought they were going to take the Iron Maiden approach and do 5 new, 5 old. And I figured they're going to keep opening with Panic Attack because it's been a pretty solid opener. But Judas Priest hit the stage, they opened with All Guns Blazing. First time they played All Guns Blazing since 2019. Prior to that, it hasn't really been played much since it was new in 1990, and it's the first time they've ever opened with it. Gotta say, not what I predicted at all, but an absolutely solid opener nonetheless. After that, they go into what I kind of predicted it was going to be, and that is Hell Patrol. Hell Patrol gets played on and off, so it's not super shocking to see it in this position for this tour, but nonetheless, it was a great idea. Not super long, super punchy, fans were pretty into it. Good idea. After that, they dial it back and go to one of the hits and play You've Got Another Thing Coming. That's right. I kind of predicted it would be early in the set list, but I always find it neat to see it early in the set list. Like, in my mind, it's something you play around the end of the set, maybe in the main set, but around the end nonetheless. But Judas Priest seems like having it around the beginning of the set right now. After You Got Another Thing Coming, we stick with the classics and go with Freewheel Burning. Now, Freewheel Burning is A, fantastic, but B, very unexpected. There's really no reason to do Freewheel Burning because it's really not the focus of the set, and it wasn't even the song they pulled out the Harley in, but it is an absolute treat to see it be played. After that, we go into Breaking the Law, which is totally expected. It's one of the Judas Priest essentials. But right after that, we go into Touch of Evil into Nightcrawler. Mesmerize slowly till I can't believe my eyes. These two are a brilliant move to have right after Breaking the Law, mainly because they're such a different vibe from Breaking the Law that it actually kind of works really well. Keeps the set moving in an interesting manner. After Nightcrawler, we go into Firepower from the Firepower album, which they really didn't need to do anything from Firepower, but I really appreciate the fact they did, and I'll get into that at the end. But after Firepower, they played Solar Angels. This is the first time Solar Angels has been played since 2005. So it didn't really need to be pulled out, but it goes to this thing I'm loving about Judas Priest of they're just pulling out weird songs right now. It may be the kind of mindset of we don't have that much time left, let's go play everything. So I really appreciate it. And for all those wondering, yes, 2005 was indeed 20 years ago. But after Solar Angels, we get our first new song of the night, and that's Gates of Hell. I believe this actually debuted on this tour, so it's also really cool to see Judas Priest not just play the same 3 songs off the Invincible Shield album, but really dive into the album. There's a lot of legacy bands right now. They're only doing like 2 or 3 songs off a new album on a new tour cycle. So to see Judas Priest maybe only doing 2 or 3 songs at a time, but collectively playing a lot of the album during the tour. But after Gates of Hell, we go into Metal Gods, which we all kind of expected to be played. It's one of the essentials. But after Metal Gods, we get Serpent and the King. Now, it wasn't on my prediction set list. I don't know why, because it actually makes a lot of sense. You see, a little while ago, a good buddy of mine, Adam, actually did an interview with Rob Halford for Global, and he actually brought up Serpent and the King, saying when they were recording vocals for that song, he wanted to go with this Painkiller sound if it was still there in his vocals, and it just made sense for that song. So to see the song that had the Painkiller tone for the what is essentially the retrospective tour for the Painkiller album was a really cool move. And after that, we get One Shot at Glory. Now, personally, I did not expect One Shot at Glory to be played here. I kind of figured it was played at the 50th anniversary tour, That was kind of the weirdo song pulled out then, but this tour would get songs like Leather Rebel or Metal Meltdown. They were played, I'm not going to cry about it, it's cool to see One Shot at Glory be brought back. After One Shot at Glory, we get Between the Hammer and the Anvil, Judas Rising, and then Giant in the Sky. They use this time in the show to kind of look at the fallen heroes in metal and those they miss, which I think a lot of people could use that song for those they've lost their lives. So, kind of a cool move. It's also a smart idea to kind of bring the show down just a little bit and chill things out just a little bit before they start Painkiller. Painkiller is not a shock. We knew it was coming, and we knew it was likely going to be the song to close off the main set. That's where Judas Priest likes to have it, so it made sense it was going to go there. After the main set, going into the encore, no surprises. We go Electric Eye into Hellbent for Leather with the motorcycle into Living After Midnight, which is essentially exactly what I predicted. So before we get to my thoughts, I just want to say yes, I am late on this. Frankly, this is the third time I recorded this video, and hopefully the last time. I could have just went and banged out the video the moment the tour happened. Frankly, the video would probably be better if I did it, but I think sitting down and just gathering my thoughts before doing the video is always going to be the better move. But enough of why I'm really late. So my thoughts on this. I think this is generally a perfect set list. Like, you're never going to please everyone. We know that. And we can nitpick towards what songs we want to hear, whether it be Leather Rebel or Keep Panic Attack or Bring In Ram It Down. But frankly, this set list is perfect. In my personal opinion, there's 4 things that go into making a perfect set list. And when you look at new album tours, this is still essentially a new album tour. Playing new material is one of those things. Seems pretty obvious, but I saw Motorhead on the Bad Magic tour. They didn't play a single song off that album. So the bar is pretty low. Not knocking Motorhead, miss you Lemmy, but just an example. So, new material. The second one is the hits. Again, pretty obvious. And Judas Priest did a really good job of playing the hits. After that, we have a song from the previous album. When you're a legacy band, dropping the previous album is pretty easy because you tend to have a lot of material you're sitting on. So I always believe just playing one song from the album prior, just as a we're not forgetting it, is always kind of a cool move to me. And the last one is the oddballs. As much as I do truly believe playing the hits is generally very important, I do also believe playing those oddball songs is equally important. Because there's always going to be that time where that one person finally comes to see, in this case, Judas Priest for the first time ever, and they want to hear Breaking the Law, they want to hear Metal Gods, they want to hear Electric Eye. All those are important. But you're also going to have those fans who've seen Judas Priest so many times. So seeing songs like Between the Hammer and the Anvil or seeing songs like Judas Rising come back are always going to be very important. So based on those 4 criterias, which frankly I always kind of lean on those whenever I look at set lists, I think this is perfect. And one thing I really need to point out is the hits. Because yes, Judas Priest did indeed play the hits on this tour, but I also think those are kind of the interesting one here. Because yes, as much as we did get Breaking the Law, Metal Gods, Hellbent for Leather, we didn't get like Diamonds and Rust, we didn't get Victim of Changes, we didn't get Turbo Lover. Like, they dropped a lot of the essentials for this tour. Which in regards to legacy bands, dropping those hits is kind of a ballsy move, so I really respect those who do it, but in this case, Judas Priest. I think this is a fantastic set list. I think Judas Priest absolutely nailed it with this, and I'm hoping 1 or 2 more Canadian dates get added to it because the one Toronto date really doesn't work well for me, so hopefully 1 more gets added. But I want to know, what do you think? What is your thoughts on this set list, and where are you going to see them on the tour if you are? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and join if you've seen. I tend to post a couple times a week, and I'll see you later.